Phoenix Squadron, form up and focus fire.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Nate with another solo commentary. We got the green Cad Bane, me on the left, against the blue Luke Colossus, 35 base. That's actually Luis, who was playing the Quinlan Tarkentown in the last solo commentary. So, looks like he's trying out the new Luke with the Colossus base. So, starting off with game one, getting started with the resources. And pretty new to the blue Luke, so again gonna try going the mind of the Cad Bane. Not really sure what I'm looking for again, but get started with a Sabine from Luke here. And only follow-up play is the Sid and Ithano to 2-2 on the ground. That's a really good card to take out X3 space units. You can pilot it onto a space, kill a turn 1 play, use the CAD ping to pretty much punch up to 3. So playing on the ground is not bad. It's my only play. It just kind of keeps me pretty versatile on the start there. If she were to start air, I can hopefully stop that. And if not, looks like I can, trade into the Sabine and start off with an empty board here. I think in general, just my general game plan on CAD is to try to control the board until I get to my big units. Capturing along the way, playing on curve, and just getting good value trades on there. Getting a lot of stuff that they have to deal with on the board. Again, as I mentioned in the last video, space is a little weak, so just having Sentinel in the air is really my only answer to a lot of things. So that's what I have there. Luke with the piloting ability is huge. Also, he's a pretty big body on the ground. One thing with Luke as a pilot, he cannot be defeated as with any upgrade hate. So pretty tough to get through there. But I do have the Sentinel in the air, feeling pretty good. Looks like we have the, is it the red 5 red leader? I think it's a 2-4 or 3-4 unit there. So he runs it into the contracted jump master. Has 1 health left, but with a 4 LOM and ping, that's gonna end it there. Plays the A-wing in space. I go in to base with the contracted jump master, so we're looking at just a 3 damage from the Sabine. He does get the you're all clear kid. That's gonna defeat a unit with 3 or less health and give an experience token if there's no other space units there. So pretty good play, clean answer to the Sentinel in space. Now he's got a big A-wing, and he uses the ping ability because he attacked with the fighter to ping the 4 LOM. So not feeling terrible on the Cad Bane side. It's got a 4 LOM, looking for the Zuck on resource 5. That's always good, but a pretty big A-wing in the air and just kind of tough for me. I hit the Bazine here. I got a Yoda and a lightsaber. I think in my mind, no saber target as of right now, so I think Yoda is the cleaner play. I gotta start thinking about maybe when to maybe not take anything. You can figure I try to kill a turn here by stopping the Yoda. They usually do draw to something they can play there, so not always the greatest value on the Bazine. So it looks like he pushes with the A-wing, and I go ahead and respond with the 4 LOM. He uses Luke ability to get another ping on 4 LOM, and I go for a resupply here. That does get me to 6 resources, getting Cad Bane out, and I'm able to swing for 4 there. So just trying to push damage. Pretty good board sit on my end on the ground. We are on the Luke flip turn with the getting that A-wing in the air. It can hit for a lot, especially with Luke. upgrade on there. Can do a lot of damage. So Rivals Fall hits the Cad Bane. Pretty feels bad. I rip him on Clunky here. Do the 3 damage on the A-Wing for the kill. Can't trigger Cad Bane because he died this round. So let's see what he responds with. He goes Luke on the ground. So Luke on the ground is a 5/6. Pretty big issue for 5/6. Some of the best things I can do here is a Syndicate Lackeys ambush with a Cad Bane ping. Again, with Cad Bane turned off right now, and me using the 1 from McClunky, I think I'm out of range there. No, I should have 5 left. But that's that's one answer I just have there. So it looks like I run the Forlom into the Luke, and he swings for the base. I throw a second Forlom into Luke, get the kill there, and just trying to get that off the board. That's a 2-for-1, kind of feels bad. I hit another Bazine just to get stuff. Not sure what I sniped there. I do know that there's a lightsaber. I left the lightsaber in his hand. Yeah, but sorry about the glare there, but I do snipe something out of hand. I'll try and go back and put a note there of what I take. So pretty clean board state. Kanan's huge. Only unit on board. So I can punch up to that with my Bosk and my Forlom. He does saber up the Kanan. And that's pretty rough for me there. It looks like I go with a Cad Bane, gobble up the Kanan, saber falls off. So looks like I wasn't too worried there. We both go to the next turn there as we all have our resources all used up. So again, looking pretty good on my side. Just 35 base, still a lot of health to go through on the Colossus base. I'm sitting at 12. So still feeling okay. We are getting into higher resources here. So really my only lines here are Cad Bane and Maul. It does look like he gets the Fell the Dragon on the Cad Bane. Clean answer, gets his Kanan back. And for 7, I'm gonna Maul in, ping, and then get the overwhelm there. So that should overwhelm for 3. So we see him taking that to 14. It's the red leader, prestige foil. I'm over here shaking my head trying to see if there's foiling on there. I get a healthy Maul out. What did I redirect my Maul damage to? So I go 7 into base. Yeah, I think I had to have redirected my Maul damage. That I should have 4 damage on Maul. I think that Bazine should be dead if I did that. So we get the Restored Arc online there. Cad is online. Again, mostly looking at Mauls and Cad Bane units at this point for me. OBs are also good just to clear, so it does look like I OB the Maul and kill everything there. He parries the Maul. I've already swung into it, so I think he's just trying to prevent further damage on the next turns there. I think I'm looking for a blaster here. So I just claim. No blaster. Again, my idea is just trying to push some damage here. Looks like I do get the Cad draw. So just another way to kind of stop damage there. So we maul again for another 5. I guess it's a 25. Sabine comes out. I'm stalling here just to try and get more CAD units to gobble up. Got him to 27. He rivals them all. He's tapped out. So looks like I maul again. CAD ping. Gonna get the overwhelm for 5. And I think that might be just game for me here. Yep. So there I put the 2 damage on Bazine. So it looks like I got the trigger there. I gotta double check. Make sure I did that Kanan kill correctly there. Something should have died or took damage back. I don't think it matters because he felled it anyway. He didn't have a clean answer to kill. So it does look like I take game 1. And yeah, just getting those mauls in. Pretty hard. They just swing for 7, which is insane. They can overwhelm on top of little units. So if you don't have any high health units, I'm just going to be able to clear your board and do damage to base there. In my mind, I'm thinking about confiscates because I know he's playing some sabers. Maybe foreshadowing a little bit, but Luke has a special leader ability where he can't be defeated by upgrade hate. So confiscate is good for some of the sabers that he's running, but again, could be an issue when Luke's on something. I don't have a real clean answer to get the Luke off or kill a big buffed unit in space. So it doesn't even look like I sideboarded anyway. Kind of, if it's not broke, don't fix it ideology here from me, but not really sure if that's the right play. I think I also run some waylays in the sideboard. That's good to try and stop things from getting out of hand. So, waylaying unit before Luke can get on top of it. It's pretty good. So we're starting here at game 2. He takes the initiative, deciding on resources here. We get a Queel. Looks like I ripped the Crafty Smuggler. Crafty Smuggler is just a good play because usually I can get the ping on it and then just bust the shield on there too. He is going to get a swing on there. Queel's pretty good because he gets the value from just on attack. 9 times out of 10 they'll hit their blue card and get the draw. Looks like he cleared all the damage on base. Yeah, so not much value from the restore, but again, I think they're just looking for the card draw. So he takes it to the base, gets the restored arc draw, and Cool doing work. Just gonna try and stop restore and more card draw, so trade the shield there. Again, that's why Crafty's one of the top turn 1 plays. So big 2/4 Yoda coming out. I have to hit a resupply. Not sure if I have any other plays in hand. I do have a contracted jump master, it looks like. I guess in my head I'm trying to just get ahead. Well, I don't need any kind of space defenses right now. So really want to get that Yoda off the board. Just the restore 2 really adds up. Again, also when I'm trying to go for 35 health base. It's pretty big. He goes for the force though. He has a force unit in hand. Unfortunately, I'm holding the confiscate because of anything scary, especially the lightsabers on Yoda. I do throw away the jump master, which is going to kill the Crafty Smuggler there. Because of the resupply, I'm at 5 resources, able to get a Zuck out, 1 ping on the Yoda. I would like to have seen maybe a Bosk or a Forlom to kill that Yoda. But Zuckus is also pretty good. Opens up the Forlom for 5-6 with a CAD ping. And gets the parry P. Can do the base and still no damage on the Colossus base. That's a lot of health I got to get through. So I'm moving to 5 resources or 6 resources here. So this is my CAD flip. Surely I run this Zuck into the Yoda. Again, if I do have a Forlom, looks like I have another Zuck in hand. And a super laser tech, maybe more ramp, or maybe an overwhelming barrage. Obi's good here. Just to buff up the Zuckus, it doesn't hit too many targets. I think it's my only play. I think I'm just trying to threaten damage on board. So I do get the overwhelming barrage. Again, with the perilous position, it hits for 7. So he does do 2 card draw there. I think that was just a mistake, playing too fast. So puts him back. Kind of in fairness, he says, I'm just gonna throw that on the bottom. So it's all good there. No harm, no foul. Fun, friendly games. So Zuckus right now buffed up to a 7/7 with the parry P. And gets that. No, it's red 5, red leader. But I'm able to swing for 5. Gets a restored arc. CAD flip coming in. And looks like I just start trying to push damage here. Hand looks pretty disgusting. Got a confiscate and another Zuckus. Pretty useless since Zuckus, I already have a Zuckus on board. It does look like keep holding the Zuckus because I like just expecting him to kill it with the perilous position there. I mean, it's got 4 health. Not really sure if he has open fires or anything there, but yeah, I'm like expecting Zuckus to die and I'm just holding the other Zuckus in hand. Looks like I do have a Relentless Pursuit. Always good for gobbling up units, and mostly running Bounty Hunter, so we'll get the shield for the most part. So he goes Restored Arc first, just to get the heal online. So I do Relentless Pursuit, the red 5. Put it on CAD, leader, get the shield on there. Try to protect him. I do think I blunder a little bit here. I think I do look for a blaster in the row. Luke is a 5/6. Pretty hard to deal with. He's got a lot of resources up, so since I've seen some lightsabers in the previous game, I'm pretty afraid of that. I go to push damage. I think this is where I kind of realize I might have a blast in there that could have killed the Luke, because what I'm anticipating is some kind of crazy play there. So I do 1. I do get the confiscate. Luckily I was holding that. He's like, you capture all my units here, have my upgrade also. He does throw on a Luke's lightsaber. So Luke's lightsaber is going to heal all the damage put on to Luke, and then it's going to give him a shield. So that's an issue for me. Shield just takes a lot of resources there in a world where he takes the ping to break the shield. Is the best play, but 9 times out of 10 with the restored arc there, he's probably going to take it to that instead of breaking the shield. So it does swing for huge also. So 5, 6, 7, 8, I believe it's swinging for. Again, sabered up force units. Kind of crazy. So have a pretty decent ground state right now. Shielded up CAD and a Zuck. Definitely looking for the Forlom. I continue to try to just push damage to base. But I think with that Luke and the restored arc, he does outrace me. He does get the Rival's Fall on the Cad Bane, getting his unit back. And almost no value from the Cad Bane, no 2 ping. Get a Cartel Spacer just to tap something down. Can only tap the restored arc. Looks like I drew dead here a little bit. I have this bad thing where I look at my resources. It kind of just really telegraphs that I don't have anything else and I'm searching for answers. I think it's his turn here. He's got a big Luke coming my way, I think. And again, that thing is just a monster on the ground, shielded. He's got multiple ping targets, so this is where Cad Bane starts losing a lot of value. OB would have been sweet. Looks like I do have Zuck to OB, but again with the shield, I think I do ask, you know, can I ping the shield and then keep pinging damage? I don't think it works that way. This is where having someone like Ryan to co-host this to judge rule that, but for the most part, I mean, even if I were to do that, that's still 5, you know, I'm only hitting for 7. That Luke is just massive there. I don't think I have an answer for it. It pretty much swings for lethal, I think, right now. So, yeah, I think I'm going to scoop it up here, but pretty much discussing how the OB interaction would have worked. Don't think I would be able to ping the shield. I think I'd have to do the damage all at once. So he takes game 2. Just Luke on the ground, pretty difficult. This is where I do start looking at sideboard here. Biggest thing I'm interested in, I think, is the waylays, just to get some of the stuff out of the way. Not leader units, but just, you know, things he can pilot on and whatever. I might even... So waylays doesn't look like I need yet. Maybe I'm just comfortable with Relentless Pursuits. But it looks like I just take in the Confiscate. I do run 1 Confiscate on the side. I think that's what I grab. Deciding what I pick here. Looks like I wanted to toss the Sidon Athano, but with so much air, it's kind of one of my only answers. I think I throw the Bazine away because just, I don't know, when I was hand hating, I sniped some Yodas and whatever, and wasn't too crazy. So definitely got to work on the sideboard mentality and process there. But running 2 Confiscates, I think I realized later on here, because Luke can't be defeated by Upgrade Hate. I think I'm like looking at that right now too. It actually just screws me. I have an answer to Sabers. The shield also is just another upgrade that I can take off, but obviously I think I want to take off the Saber, pop the shield with something else if that situation happens again, and then just Jedi Lightsaber. But yeah, Confiscate for Luke Pilot Leader feels kind of bad because it doesn't work. So it looks like we're going to game 3 here, 1-1. No mauls, no cads, even with the ramp. Not sure if that would have turned the tide, but definitely would have cleared that Luke a little bit earlier. That thing was going crazy on the ground, so feels bad there. Looks like I do have the Confiscate in hand. Again, I think I make a major blunder here thinking about trying to keep that for the Luke. I give up initiative here. I'm still thinking what feels better. I mean, without Tarkentown, I think I should be taking. But I just like getting the ping. Makes me feel like I'm doing something. But turn 1 play, he hits the A-Wing. I hit him with the Sit on Athano again with the Cad Bane tap. That's going to kill any 3-butt unit there. He gets a Yoda out in the next turn. I resupply, so I'm starting to ramp. I'm now holding 2 Confiscates. Not sure what I resource, but again, I'm like heavy worried about that lightsabers and then just Luke getting on something, but obviously I'm going to be surprised when I can't take Luke off the board. So no restore value here, but just Yoda going in. Looks like I do Zuckuss there. Again, I do want... The Zuckuss is great early, but I do want the ambush units just to try and clear the board. With a better board state, or, you know, cleaner board state, they have to put the pings on certain units, whereas giving them options really messes with my math and what I'm trying to do. So feels pretty good. Got a Zuckuss on the board, and looks like I get the OB out, so that's gonna clear both. This is also my CAD flip, so gonna be able to swing for 8 here with the Zuckuss. He starts swarming out Queel and the red 5. I do kill the Queel. I just hate that card draw. And anytime they're restoring, especially with a 35 health base, just again uphill battle. So try to stop as much restore as I can. We're at 7 resources here. Again, kind of once I do have my mauls and my CADs, I'm feeling pretty comfortable. The hand is not looking too hot though. Oh, it looks like I have 1 CAD, a super laser tech, and 2 confiscates. He does have a Luke pilot, and I think that's like one of the best ships he can pilot, because for the most part, once he swings with Luke ability on there, he's pinging for 2, pinging for 3 because it's a fighter, and still swinging for like 7. So he can almost kill anything before it even does damage to base or anything. So before I'm able to get the OB out, he does Rivals Fall Me. I don't want to say... I did something funky here. Yeah, so I'm looking for the confiscate. I'm so confident. Hey, confiscate. And he's like, wait a minute. And then I wait a minute myself, and we're in a little pickle here. And I am just wind out of my sails. Put my resource back. I'm crying inside. CAD can't steal that, and there's just a huge red 5 that's just gonna start tearing me down while he's swinging for 6 to base. 7, I think, actually. So I'm in a pickle. I throw the Cad Bane out raw, looks like. You know, you hate to see the Cad Bane with no targets to gobble up, just because, once, if they do want to save, you get some card draw, and 2, it just kind of stops them from doing their thing. So he does swing. He's putting on the on attack damage here. So 7 to base, that's just gonna go through, and then he's got a bunch of on attack triggers he's got to do. So he's got 3 from Luke and 2 from the red 5. So he puts a 2 on CAD. He's gonna put the 3 on CAD unit. I got a claim. I got no answers for that thing. I need my Space Sentinel. I draw into 2 cartel. Luckily, the space unit is a 3 cost, so I will be able to tap that down. I go to resource 1 because doubles, but I figure, yeah, this confiscate sucks. So, able to stop one swing here. Cartel to tap. But yeah, with no mauls, no threats. Could turn the tide to the Luke player here if it already not in his favor. So we get the Luke, -3, -3. Doesn't kill it, but he's only swinging for 4 now. And just Luke on board kind of sucks. I would be able to trade the Luke, but again, that -3, -3. So I figure let's just push to base. You know, I'm looking for the mauls. I'm looking for, you know, if I can swing that Cad Bane into there, trade it, and get another Cad Bane out. He does claim here. Again, I think this is actually where I see that I do have a blaster in the row, so I could have blastered up Cad Bane, just get a little bit extra damage in there. I'm not really sure if it would have mattered, but yeah, just some of the things where I'm moving too fast and not really remembering what's in my row and kind of my game plan and what lines I have. That would make Cad swing up for 6. So I do have a pretty nice board state, but it's just his red 5 swings huge. Restore on the Luke is going to start adding up here. Yeah, you're going to see how much havoc that red 5 does on swing. Does look like he gets a little greedy here. Ooh, does a little perilous position on the Cad Bane. Not too much greed actually, because I think that does put it in range for some of the crazy stuff he's about to do. Alright, looks like I do hit the second cartel space to get the tap down, so not be able to wreak havoc with his Luke leader there. Luke is gonna kill Cad Bane. This is a sick play here, so he runs it into Cad Bane, takes 2 back, restores 3. I run that into the Luke just to get some ramp. Pretty at my top end anyway, so yeah, the Luke's lightsaber comes out. Rarely see that card, so it heals the Luke to full, buffs him up like crazy, and then puts a shield token on him. I think at that point it's pretty grim. Popping a shield pretty hard on the Cad Bane, especially when he's got a huge health unit in the sky. I do confiscate the saber off, but the shield is honestly that's the issue. It's gonna be the shield. So cartel spacer in. I think he's got initiative, so I'm just trying to play out curve here. Forlom. I decide not to ambush, just to not give the Forlom for free. I mean, maybe I do and then swing Cad into it, but I don't know. That just doesn't seem too great. I think I just play it raw. Yeah, no Cad Bane trigger there too, because Cad Bane died this round. And even with 4 units on board, looking pretty grim here. I get a Zuckuss and a Maul that should usually turn the tide. But that space unit, honestly, I have just no answers for it. Again, it's going to take me multiple actions to get through that Luke shield. Also, so he swings for huge there. He's basically able to kill my units for free. And then, yeah, so 2 damage from the red 5 and then 3 damage from the Luke swing. Maul. Zuck in hand. I think at this point I should maybe... Yeah, I mean, that's going to kill my... Well, it's going to leave it at 1 health. I think I do Zuck here. Just to pop the shield, which feels bad. It is going to live with 1 health, but I think when he kills Forlom, it's basically a 2-for-1, which is just gross. So, looks like that's what I'm going to do. 5. I'm going to take 6 back, pop the shield. So he is living with the Forlom +1/+1. I think his Luke alone is going to take me to 22, restore 3. He's like, yeah, I'll take the CAD ping. I'm feeling pretty at a loss here. Ooh, and a big... Is that takedown? Again, taking down the Forlom. There's some angry taps there coming from the CAD player. So... pretty rough. I can only maul in to kill the Luke. And that Red 5 is pretty much going to smoke me in the air. Yeah, I don't think it leaves him 1 off, but he's so far ahead. So I ping. He takes it into there. I do throw away the cartel for 5, 6, 7. So I do have a fresh maul, but he just Luke's back. Luke's on Luke's. Pretty tough there. Kills them all. And just domes me. Gets me to 29. I need to clear 2. OB would have turned the tide if I had an OB target, but I think I maul in. Yeah. I just quit. So GG's there. Redemption comes out. He's got redemption in hand. That's just more heals to the base there. And yeah, couldn't stop that air assault. Contracted Jump Master kind of would have delayed it. Just putting damage on it though would have been good. Maybe I should have been swinging the cartels in there just to kind of break it down. But it's getting a lot of value being able to just kill things before it even swings. So gotta deal with Luke. Hindsight, I do think I was playing to confiscate the Luke. I did have OB in hand, which I should have played first to kill the space unit so he has no unit to pilot the Luke on there. And yeah, just a little misplay by me thinking I can confiscate the Luke. But other than that, so 2-1 to Luis. Great showing of the blue Luke. Pretty strong deck there. I think he was doing some pretty good stuff against other guys in the games today. So something I have to look out for. Played against a couple Luke Reds, but the blue Luke was actually pretty good there. So thank you for watching, and like and subscribe.